Hi, this is Paul Gale from paulgalenetwork.com, and today I'm going to be demonstrating Kihon Ippon number 5 for Jodan, stepping in forward face punch. I'll demonstrate both the offense and defense. The offense is the same as it was for the previous 4, stepping in and back with a downward block. Feet are shoulder width apart, hips are rotated, announcing to your opponent, Jodan, stepping in to the face punch. And return. Once again, getting your distance, downward block, announcing Jodan, and return. For Kihon Ippon number 5, the beginning sequence looks like Kihon Ippon number 1. Your opponent gets his or her distance and prepares a downward block. When they announce Jodan, when you're ready, you say os. You perform a rising block. This is where the similarity ends between number 1 and 5. Now, you're getting a little bit of distance yourself, keeping your weight distribution forward. Right now, the majority of my weight is on this leg. I still want that to exist. But now, I'm going to grab their arm while stepping back, creating some distance, pulling the arm down simultaneously while doing a front snap kick. As I land, I pull their arm back, and I'm performing an uppercut with my elbow, with my palm to my side. You have an olecranon process and an olecranon fossa in your elbow. If you're hitting like this, you're more likely to trigger your funny bone, which is that pair of joints. So keeping your hand in a hammer fist position, coming straight up is the more appropriate way to go. And step in and step back. Once again, rising block, half step back, keeping your weight distribution forward. Pull the arm down while you're doing Maigari front snap kick. Rising elbow strike, step in, step back. One more time, ready. Jodan's coming, number 5. Rising block, half step back, boom, kiai, and return. There are some times that given the amount of distance between you and your opponent, you may rising block, half step back, kick, elbow strike, step back before stepping in. As long as you are creating that amount of distance properly from your opponent and you, general rule of thumb is the leg that moved back first is the leg that moves forward first, but sometimes given the situation and the distance, you may have to do it separately. Okay. Now from this perspective, if I'm coming at you, I am offense, downward block. I'm stepping in to out, Jodan. Punch to the face and return. One more time, downward block, Jodan. You say os when you're ready, Jodan. And return. Now from this behind the back point of view, look at my feet. They're shoulder width apart, knees slightly bent, right hand up, left hand on the hips. My right foot comes in while my hands come together. Sink down, rising block. Keeping that weight forward, feet are still shoulder width apart. Pulling back that leg, you're almost falling forward right now. Kicking, pull that arm down while you're coming up. Be careful not to swing your elbow out. This is coming straight up, from 6 o'clock to 12 o'clock, straight up. And then you may step forward, back, crossing your right hand over the left bone. One more time. The punch is coming at you. We're blocking. 1, 2, 3, ha! And back, back. Boom. Okay. Now one more time. This time I will be offense along with you. You and I, we're facing this way. You're following me right now. Stepping back, we're getting our downward block position. Announcing Jodan. Punch. And return. One more time for offense. Jodan. Ha! And return. Now, if you just followed that sequence, you were punching me. Now, I will be defense for your offense. Looking at my feet, shoulder width apart. You got your distance. I'm stepping back. Jodan. I rose, did a rising block. Weight distribution forward, grabbing your wrist, kicking, landing. Step in, step back. One more time with the opposite feet position. You're stepping in with Jodan. I'm blocking. 1, 2, 3, 4. If it makes more sense with your distance to the opponent, you may step back before stepping forward and return. That was Kihon Ippon for Jodan number 5, demonstrated just by myself. Now I will perform this with a partner. Now I have Kenny to help me demonstrate this sequence both offensively and defensively. We face each other. Bow. Os! Getting our distance. I will be offense first, and we will do it slowly. Stepping in and back. I announce, Jodan. I'm stepping in, punching. He did a rising block, grabbed me, kicked, pulled me back, and then he steps back. One thing you'll notice is when you're pulling your opponent's arm down, simultaneously hitting them in the opposite direction, the amount of torque that you're generating with your own body is being multiplied by their face coming into your elbow. Think of it as a car crash, and this vehicle is moving at this speed, and they're being intercepted by a pull. It's going to go straight through. So it's not even two cars colliding. It's a car, which is the person's face, with a pull, which is the one that's going to penetrate. That's almost the best analogy of how this feels like to get hit by this attack. You're pulling the individual in, getting them off of their own weight, while you're contracting your body, shifting in equal but opposite directions, and colliding them right underneath the jaw. Truly effective technique. Ready, one more time, slow. Jodan. 1, 2, 3, 4. Good. If the front snap kick didn't do it to them, in which you are kicking with the ball of the foot, the elbow strike to the jaw will. But in all likelihood, if you are committing to that front snap kick with the ball of the foot, you're already going to have them hunched over, which is already going to weaken up their muscles, leaving their head more vulnerable to come in and to be prone to that collision. Ready, regular speed. Jodan. Yeah. Good. And he kicked right above the belt, right with the ball of the foot, generating the most amount of pounds per square inch possible. That ball of the foot is hard. It's a lot of energy coming around a small amount of surface area. Now Kenny will be offense. First slow. Os. Rising block. Rotating in. Minimizing your damage by maximizing the amount of contact time between us. Keeping my weight distribution forward. Kicking while I'm colliding. And stepping back and stepping back. Again, medium speed. Os. 1, 2, 3, 4. And full speed. Os. Yeah. Ah! Now we will show you from a different point of view. Os. I will be offense in this case. Kenny will start defense from this behind the back perspective. Our feet are approximately shoulder width apart. Getting distance, downward block. I'm announcing Jodan. 1. Yeah. And good, return. Jodan. Yeah. Okay, let's shift a little bit over. Help the camera see a slightly different angle over the back. Jodan. Yeah. Good. Now Kenny will attack me. Os. Look at my feet. My feet came in to out. My weight distribution is forward. I already pulled back his arm. I'm kicking, continuing to pull as I elbow strike up Not around, but straight up. 6 o'clock to 12 o'clock position. Step back, step forward. One more time.
Jodan.
Os!
Yeah.
Os!
Os.
One more point of view. Same front to back position, but now offense and defense will be switching sides. Okay, can he get your distance?
Jodan.
Os! I blocked! You see his feet move in. He's doing a letter C. I'm doing a letter C. Pulling back. Front snap kick above the belt. Pulling down while uppercutting. And we return. One more time.
Jodan.
Os! 1, 2, 3. Ah! Return. Now I will be offense against Kenny. Slow, paying attention to his feet. Watch me slide into up position and watch him slide from front to back. Jodan.
Os.
1, 2, 3, 4. When your arm is coming down after being pulled, you can't help but have your neck snap back. That complemented with an elbow strike going against that jaw, that's crucial. Again. Jodan.
Os.
Oh, yeah. Perfect. Os. Os.
Os.
When you're demonstrating these techniques, it is important to do so with accuracy. You want your opponent to learn from this as much as you are. If you don't punch fully, if you don't kick fully, he or she, you both, you're not going to develop the technique. It becomes a fine line between effectively landing contact and not damaging your opponent. But if you don't challenge yourselves and make contact, you never know what it feels like. Kenny could have kicked me a lot harder, but he also could have not kicked me at all. He's kicking me just right in the same spot over and over with the ball of the foot, with enough energy. Offense side, your body should be loose but tight and contracted at the same time. Your muscles, your diaphragm, your abs should be initiated so that you can absorb when you are being kicked or punched. That was Kihon Ippon for Jodan, number 5. This has been Paul Gale from paulgalenetwork.com. Thank you for watching. If this video was informative, please consider liking, subscribing, commenting, sharing, and hitting that notification bell to stay tuned for future videos. Os!
Os.
Thank you.